I'm Karen Elgersma, celebrating spring. Can you guess the name of this plant? If you guessed heather, you're right. And you're watching Go Island on Shaw TV. On today's show, what to do when you see an emergency vehicle pulled over, and the man known as Mr. Parksville, and atmospheric rivers. All that and more on Go Island. Hello and welcome to Go Island. We have a great show for you today. We are in Duncan talking about one of my very favorite plants, heather. And you know why I love heather? Because when you live on the coast, heather makes you feel like it's spring all year round. Now, we're talking to Norma, who's part of the Vancouver Island Heather Society. Norma, what is it about this plant that there's a whole society revolved around it, and people are obsessed with it, particularly in places like Scotland and England? There's an obsession with heather. What is it?
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It has color all year round in your garden. There's foliage color and bloom color, and there's all kinds of heathers. We have a big book with all the heathers in the world in it, and it's fun. It's the people that belong to the Heather Society we're social and we have fun and we learn about heathers and what not to do and what to do.
And that's how you got in the society, because you were planting heathers and you made a few mistakes.
I did. I thought all heathers would love great manure and rich, and we had built a house and we'd never started a garden from scratch, and so we decided that we'll just put all this manure in with the heathers.
Yeah.
Well, they died.
Yes.
And so I got in touch with Ellen Norris, who is the founder of a Vancouver Island Heather Society, along with a few other people, and she came out to my place and she said, "Oh my dear, you planted them with manure. That's why they died."
Because when you think of heather, you think of the moors, and you think of in England and Scotland, and they're not manured.
No. They survive,
That's why they're such great plants.
Yes,
They're once they've established, they're very hardy. One of the special things about this society is the founder was a really amazing woman. Tell us a little bit about the founder.
Well, Ellen Norris was living in Vancouver in the 1970s, and she started working for Van Dusen Gardens. And they had heather there, and she fell in love with heather. And then David Wilson, who supplies all our heather for our heather sales, his father was working at UBC, and between them and a couple of other people, they started the North American Heather Society, which then branched off into the Vancouver Island Heather Society.
That's so cool.
And so she took us from there, and unfortunately she's passed away in 2003.
But what a legacy. And if you want in on the society, if you want to be part of the society, like a friend for a day, how can people be part of what you guys are doing? Because you have a big event coming up this weekend.
We have a big event coming up this weekend on Saturday from 10 to noon or until it sells out. We're having a heather sale, and David has supplied all the heathers, and you can join the Heather Society there. You get some money off your purchases if you do that.
Discount.
Yeah, and we
get to have fun with people like you.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, you guys actually sell kits so people can really learn how to plant and be successful with their heathers.
Right. So if you are a new gardener, or you're new to heathers, and you want to put together a little heather garden, our members have taken and put together fall and winter and foliage and bloom. You get 10 plants. They're $35. They tell you where to plant them, how to plant them. They give you a little brochure on what to do and pruning and all kinds of stuff.
So great. You have to come, because you know why you have to come? Come here. This is why you have to come, because this will be in your garden. Yes, on a cool January, February day when you're a little depressed, you can come out and enjoy your heather. So you have to come to the sale. We're going to continue to talk about heather and give you some tips on how to plant it, how to care for it. But first, did you know that it's a law to protect those who protect us? But when you see an emergency vehicle on the side of the road, are you obeying the law? Well, Nikki Iwanishin explains exactly what we should be doing? Thank you so much for bringing us that very important story, Nikki. Now we are in Duncan, celebrating heather, the plant that keeps you full of hope through the winter months. And it also can keep your garden happy, really, 12 months a year, can't it?
Oh, it can. It can.
And this is only a 4-year-old heather garden. So when these heathers were planted, they were quite little.
They were little 4-inch pots.
And now look at them, they're beautiful. Tell us about some of the variety of heather that's in this garden.
Well, this is Kramer's Red here. Kramer is a German botanist who developed it. And it's
You mean he's not a character on Seinfeld?
No.
Whoa, look at that heather.
But it's very popular, and it does
is.
very well, and the color is beautiful.
It's the color you often think of when you think of heather. Where's the sale and when?
The sale's at the Farmers Institute in Cobble Hill on Saturday, 10 to 12. Come a bit early because sometimes we sell out, and not always, but in the last couple of years we've sold out before 12. So,
Come and have fun.
yeah. Don't show up at 5 to 12.
And they give you like a kit with all the information you need. So it's such a great way to start your garden. A few more tips in just a moment on how to keep your heather healthy and happy all winter long. But first, they call him Mr. Parksville. He is the guy that smiles and waves at everyone and just brings so much life to the community. Rayanne has a story on this very special man. Are you smiling? I can't watch that story and not grin. Thank you so much, Rayanne, for that very cool story. We're here in Duncan celebrating heather, and when we come back, we're going to tell you what kind of heather this is and why it's so unique and special. We're also going to explain to you what an atmospheric river is. Oh yeah, this is a cool story. You're going to want to stick around. Welcome back to Go Island. We are in Duncan, and we are sitting next to a beautiful heather, a very special heather. Norma, tell us why this is unique.
Well, this is a tree heath, and it probably will grow up to about 4 feet tall. And it has some foliage color in the winter. As it gets bigger, it will have it. And it also has flowers in the summer. And we sell those too at our heather sale. Some of our members have taken these and planted them in pots, like at their doors and stuff. So they.
Okay, and we have another great idea. Show her your wrist. See, the heather can be the little flower that you put on your table in January and February. Another great reason to have them.
Right, and you can make corsages with them.
Yes.
You can make little things for your to wear on your jackets. But
you can hostess
also
gift.
Yes, little hostess gift. You can mix them with other flowers that are in your garden in the spring, and they just look wonderful. And they last a couple weeks.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now there's so much to love about the heather. A few more tips when we come back, but first, have you ever heard of an atmospheric river? Well, if you live on the West Coast, you're going to want to watch this story. And that story was brought to us by our very talented Lorraine Scollin, who's behind the camera right now. And if there's anything that you want to know about, that you go, I'd like to know about this, email us, because we're going to continue to do these funky VJ-style stories on little fun facts about Vancouver Island. And one of the fun facts about this place is that when you come to Duncan, you will be surrounded by lovely people like Norma from the Heather Society, who knows all about heather. Now, if we're pruning heather, what are some good tips on how to prune heather?
Well, you don't want to prune drastically. You just want to take off a little bit, maybe 3 inches. Yeah. Where I cut that, we'll put new growth on, and then it'll bloom again.
And it won't have that scraggly look.
It won't have that scraggly look.
We are going to take a break, but you have to stay with us, because when we come back, we have the breakdown. The breakdown. I love this new segment we're doing. Dan Kahn is the brainchild behind it. If you have any ideas for the breakdown, let us know. But what we want to let you know about right now is how that you can have this beautiful heather in your own life, how this can be part of your winter, your spring, your summer, and your fall. Tell us about the sale. I'll do the Vanna over here as you tell us, Norma, about the sale.
Okay, Saturday from 10 to noon at the Cobble Hill Farmers Institute at 3550 Watson Street Avenue in Cobble Hill.
It's been a beautiful morning to spend wandering around these heather gardens. I'm inspired. I need some heather in my life. We want to hear from you. So if you have any ideas, story ideas, thoughts, feedback, you can follow us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us. We have a website. Or if you happen to see us around, tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, we love your show. We have an idea for you. Thanks for watching.